You know what? I'm just going to take.
All right.
Oh my God, I just spilled my fucking soda everywhere.
Nice.
I'm good though. Whenever you are.
Okay.
Oh my Lord. Jesus.
Presented by Under Armour and Sleeper Fantasy. Welcome to Light Years. Andy Lou, the Warriors win what I would define as a hard-fought, grinded-out road game, 120-109 against the Detroit Pistons. You know, Detroit's a young, rebuilding team. You know, this is a game they lose last year. Let's just call it straight. A lot of things to clean up, but a win's a win. 6-2, 5-1 on the road.
Agree. I will agree and disagree. The first, I'll agree on the mental toughness part, where I think this team is a lot different from last year, right? So you're right there. They're super tough. They stayed in it. They lost the lead twice. Went down 6 points a few times, and you're kind of like, oh, I don't know, is this Stanley Omude dude gonna make 4 more threes? But Sam, I don't know. Were you happy watching that? That was a disgusting 40. It was not good basketball. That's not a team that, even if you win that game, I expect better from this team. It's an embarrassing game.
Do you expect better from this team? Like, I feel like that's a different conversation.
If they want to win a championship, yeah. I expect better from Wiggins. That's for sure. We'll get to him. But, like, I expect better from this team. Like, that was embarrassing. I know they won the game, all well is good, 6-2, all that fun stuff. But, like, man, that was disgusting.
Well, I mean, I think there's two conversations to be had. One, are they getting the job done? And the answer is yes. Two, do you think they're a contender right now?
Right.
And it's November 6th, so they don't need to be a contender right now. But if you're to ask me, I don't know, man. I see players who could be on a contender on this team, but I do not see a contender level team just yet.
Correct.
But we'll get to that. We'll get to that a little later. Like, to me, the bigger story here is, third game of a road trip. They've played 6 of their first 8 on the road. Second half of back-to-back. They're an older team. The older team is part of the reason that they can be kind of hard to watch at times. But they grinded it out, And I guess we got to start with Steph. In some way, it's like,
yep.
Just don't bury the lead. Sometimes it's as simple as, if you commit and compete, 30 is just going to take you home. That usually is good enough to get it done against most teams in the regular season. And that's kind of how I look at this Warriors team. Incomplete. There are some issues on the wing. But
wings.
But they do play with the correct attitude and toughness, and kind of the thing you've associated with the Warriors over more of the last decade than not.
Yeah.
And you know what? You do that, Steph's going to take over. I'm thinking of in the fourth quarter when they reclaimed the lead and Steph hit that 3 and taunted the crowd. You know which one I'm talking about? Where I'm like,
put them up 6. Yep. They were down by 4.
First he put them up 3, and then he put them up 6. And it was just, once he stared down the crowd, I'm like, sorry, kids. Oscar Thompson, Cade, I kind of liked watching him. I liked what I saw, but you're not this guy. That's all I'm going to say. You're not number 30. Just look at the crowd here. Like, if you're listening on pod, you all saw the clip of him just kind of yelling at the crowd. They know what's happening right now.
Kids reaching over there. in the second row looking for a high five. That's an amazing picture. They've got a couple guys in the background. I don't know who they are. They're not even looking at him. Look at the dude's on his phone. You see the guy in the hat there in the white t-shirt? He's on his phone.
Isn't this like kind of like the problem of 2023? It's like there's nothing worse than being caught on a viral picture.
Kid, that's an old dude. It's older than you and I. You know, that guy's got to be in his mid-40s. Get off your fucking phone. You're watching the most entertaining player in the NBA in the last 10 years.
What do you think he's looking at his phone?
I mean, he's probably super rich. He's probably got $100K on the game. so maybe he's using a sleeper daily fantasy. You know what I mean? Maybe he's got the Steph under. So he's not happy about Steph going for 30.
If he bet the Steph under, he shouldn't be looking at his phone. He should be at the bar right now and just be like shot right now because it's not happening for me.
Pretty dumb bet. But get off your phone anyway. Yeah, we got to start with Steph. That's the right move. 33 minutes, by the way. He's the only guy that showed up. The only other guy that showed up, we'll get to him later, is Chris Paul. But Steph showed up with a plus 17 tonight, and he really started.
I think it's a little harsh on the only guys who showed up.
Only two guys. I mean, you could throw in GP2 and
I thought Moody played. Well,
maybe Moody.
We'll talk about it a little later, but yeah, okay.
Yeah. Those are the only guys, in my opinion. The rest of the team was pathetic. But this guy came out shooting, right? Steph came out gunning, which I thought about this in the first quarter when he had, 16, and then Steve Kerr benched him because that's what Steve does for no reason. But isn't that interesting that he's done that so much more this season? I feel like some of the stuff we've seen the last maybe 3 to 4 years since KD has left, it's very much we sit after every game and go, man, kind of want Steph to get more aggressive in the first half or else the team goes down by 15, right? And it feels like he did this game. He did this against Houston where he kind of gives that bench the lead, gives them confidence so they're not the ones that has to 6-point deficit. So I thought that was pretty interesting. He's doing that more and more this season, which is pretty cool.
I have 2 thoughts on that. One, they have less offensive talent than they had the last few years. As much as Jordan Poole, and it's not like he's Mr. Consistent, they don't have anyone on their bench who can go off for 40 the way no one who's as explosive as him in any capacity. Chris Paul is a better all-around player. Chris Paul will not score 40 this year. Jordan Poole had multiple 40-point games last year. You know what I'm saying? And going down the line, like this team, I don't know if they have a second option, to be honest. Plays a second option anymore, man. And he's as close. Yeah. He is their second option because he's their second best scorer, and it's not particularly close. But like his days of being, 40 minutes, Game 6 Clay, that sort of stuff, like that's what the player is right now. Now he's just a solid 15 to 20 type of player. And I think that's part of the reason Steph's more aggressive as a scorer. They just don't have enough offensive firepower in general.
Which makes this all the more impressive because he's not getting really helped by anyone. He's just going out there. He's just launching. He shot 17 threes tonight. He doesn't really go to the rim until the end of the game. I think that's another, hey, I'm too old for this type of thing from Steph, where it's I can get to the rim anytime I want, but I'm not going to get hit until I absolutely need to, right? Until the game is a crunch time game and the Warriors are down 3, up 3. Then I'll get to the rim, which is what
if you're gonna sell out 4 guys on me, in which case I get an easy layup.
That's it. That's it.
Either
but other than
right?
that, you notice it's other than that, it's very much I'm gonna shoot these threes or I'm gonna get to 16 feet and shoot a mid range shot. I think that's pretty cool to see him play like that. You watch LeBron play nowadays, same thing. You watch KD play. Difference with KD, I think, and LeBron is, I'm just talking about older guys, is that I just don't see KD get to the rim even at all anymore. He's just so tall, it doesn't really matter. He's still getting his 30 points a game. But you see LeBron, he doesn't really go to the rim until the fourth quarter. Same with Steph. He don't really bother getting there until the fourth quarter until he absolutely needs to. But other than that, he's just kind of coasting his way, which is funny, Sam, because he's coasting his way and he has 16 points in the first half. So I don't I mean, I don't know, man. You always say he's the best player in the world. Games like tonight feels like the Warriors need him more than ever. It's crazy. And the older he gets, the more the Warriors need him. Is insane to me. And you watch tonight. It's just they need him to do this to beat the Pistons, but hey, it's what they need.
Second half of back-to-back, man. So let's talk a little sleeper fantasy.
Crazy, yeah. Crazy that the guy who's going to be 36 on the second hand of back-to-back is putting this show on. Just, he's the best. All right. This week's podcast brought to you by Sleeper Fantasy. The NBA season is here, which means you now have a chance to 100x your cash on daily fantasy basketball. Basketball has never been more exciting than it is now with, like I just said, Steph Curry, LeBron James, Luka Doncic, Kevin Durant. Pick more or less on these stats for these stars, like points, rebounds, three-pointers, steals, double-doubles, and more for up to 100x payout on Sleeper. Get your picks right, and you can win big. Use promo code LIGHTYEARS, and you'll get up to $100 match on your first deposit. Use promo code LIGHTYEARS. You'll get $100 match on your first deposit. Terms and conditions apply. See Sleeper's terms of use for details. Currently operational in over 25 states. Check out Sleeper today. All right.
You see I got Big Jimmy?
Unfortunately, we did. Unfortunately, we watched it. 11 whole minutes of him. What did you think? You're smiling. Fucking smiling.
It still fucking sucks. I don't know what else to say. Like, first off, good for the Warriors that Jalen Duren didn't play because that dude's a stud. That dude's very good. He's everything you want out of a center in terms of just like using his physicality to own the paint, get every rebound, defend, finish inside, that sort of thing. I did think it was hilarious when Wiseman came in the game. Steph just like, I'm going off. They had a slow start. To your point, the Pistons, dudes I'd never heard of were hitting shots on the Pistons. And it was like one of those type of situations. Then Wiseman comes in and miss. It just turns into, I don't know what to say, man. It's not going to work out for him in Detroit. I think it's hilarious that there's still all this like Warriors intrigue around him. I don't know if he's going to be in the NBA in a year or two. It doesn't look like it's changing.
It looked about the same. You are 1,000%. I thought it was kind of, hey, it's business is ruthless, right? And you're 100% on the. I mean, it was pick and roll. He can't come up. If he comes up, they go by him. If he drops back, he can't defend, and he doesn't play help defense.
Moses Moody just beasting him on the glass. That play, it's just kind of like, look, man, you either figure it out or you don't. Like, you can only kind of like give someone instruction and coaching so much. And it's the same mistakes. It's just the same mistakes.
11 minutes. At least he played 11 minutes. Like you said, Duren was out, and they've got a couple other guys out. So he's buried so deep in the rotation that he only gets 11 minutes in a game that they had 5 guys out on a team, by the way, that's 2-5 coming to this game, is now 2-6, is going to be in the Cooper Flag sweepstakes. And he can't even get minutes.
Nope. Cooper Flag's a year away.
Year away.
One of those
week
drafts.
Draft.
There's
week draft.
Probably. I don't know. It's unclear. There's not a Wembanyama. There's not a big name. I'll put it that way.
Yeah. I feel bad for him. I think I've spent my time making fun of him enough. I feel bad for him. But he will be in China 2 years from now. So from the chat, Wiseman does know Mandarin, so he could play in Taiwan with Jeremy Lin and those guys, or he can go play in the Shanghai Sharks. He can go can he even play in Europe? Can he go play in European team? They're pretty good. They're pretty good over there. Level competition's not easy to play in. So
he's made 40 mil. I don't feel that bad. Sorry. Like that's where I'm at with it.
Good.
I do think my main take on watching the Warriors this year is I don't think they have a second option. I think we talked about it a little earlier.
All right. Get to it.
I don't know how far they can get until this is resolved. It's 8 games. They're 6-2. From my perspective, winning games while you clearly haven't figured stuff out is good. It's objectively good because you don't want to be chasing it from 2-6 to like we saw what it looked like last year when they could just never get a groove on the season. But I'm looking at this, I'm going like, look, man, even if Andrew Wiggins comes around, I don't know. I don't know if they have enough offense in general. I like Clay, to his credit, has dialed it back, and I think he's played really smart basketball for most of the season. I've been pretty of Clay he used to be. Kuminga, every game is like a roller coaster. Like there's parts of it where I'm like,
perfect way to put it.
And then there's other parts where I'm like, he's figuring it out. And you know what? He looks like a 21-year-old to me. I think he's actually effective for them, but like, I'm not expecting him to become a 20-point per game scorer this season. Are you? Seems unrealistic, right?
Play for the Rockets, yeah. But yeah, of course not. Not on this team.
Not on a team with like winning aspirations. He could obviously average 20 if he got enough touches. And then Moses Moody, I think he's actually played really good basketball, but I don't think he's that guy either. Chris Paul at this stage of his career. Tonight, by the way, Chris Paul, finally good shooting night, and it looks like he's getting out of that shooting slump a little bit. But even if we assume that was a slump, I think his days of scoring 20 a game are beyond him too. And I'm just sitting here and I'm going, where is the offense around 30? I see Steph, and I see a bunch of dudes who are 12-point per game scorers. Maybe 18 for Clay.
Yeah, okay, yeah. 12 to 18. Let's do 12 to 18. Maybe Chris Paul is in that 12 range, and Kuminga's in that 12 range, and the 18 is more the Clay range, and really 18 should be where this guy has been. I pull my hair out tonight. Andrew Wiggins started the game with a spin move, ball falls out of bounds, misses a layup, turns it over again, getting the ball right under the rim for a layup, misses 2 free throws. Can we talk? I mean, just the guy is shooting free throws like a fucking middle schooler. It is embarrassing. It's embarrassing what Andrew Wiggins is doing out there. 8 games now. All right, 8 games. So, Sam, I talked about maybe 10 to 15 is when they'll do it. But you can't play this bad. This bad. 2 for 9. 22 minutes tonight, by the way. He's getting minutes taken by. It's not even like Kuminga's playing that was not even like he's playing well.
Kuminga is getting picked over him because Kuminga has a little more heart. Like
that's it. That's it.
It's debatable if it's more effective, but he's trying harder.
That's a great point.
Although I'll give Kuminga credit, horrendous start to this game, but then he found a way to get to the free throw line a few times, and like I'm a Kuminga fan, but I'm also like realistic. Like he needs to be a bench guy for a contending team this year. Maybe in 2 years he can be that third option on a contending team, but like realistically, the role he's in this year is the correct role of where he's going to be in. But like it comes back to this thing where all signs point to like, Wiggins, are you gonna get back to what you once were, or not? To your
that's
to your
the
point,
guy. That's the guy.
To your point. All right, Game 9, they go to Denver. End of a road trip. That's tough. Game 10, Cleveland at home. Game 11, Minnesota at home. Game 12, Minnesota at home. I don't know why they play Minnesota twice at home. Just a scheduling course.
Is it an in-season tournament? Something? Is it something like
one
that?
One of them
maybe?
Is, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Little bit of a, but you know, what is Fitz called? The baseball series. But sometimes you get that sort of stuff. If he has not figured it out against Cleveland and Minnesota, teams he has like the weird, like traditionally good games against.
Good point. Yeah.
Then I'm concerned. Then I'm like seriously concerned. But I'm giving him through the weekend. We're gonna give Wiggins, we're gonna salute Wiggins on Veterans Day with the troops. And then if he hasn't figured it out after Veterans Day weekend, then the concern level raises for me.
Is Veterans Day this weekend? That's cool. I mean, my dad was a veteran. I did not even know that. So veterans, good for them. It is
Wiggins, not a veteran, just to be clear.
Yeah. out there that's playing 36 minutes, getting 15 rebounds.
That's the other frustrating part of this.
Fuck?
Like we talk about how old this roster is. This roster should be carried by the guys in their 20s, and he's 28. He should be very much in the prime of his career. You know, he should be This should be his. I don't think he's that type of player, but he should be like Mr. Two-way. Like, remember Clay at 28? Clay at 28 played 40 minutes a game, guarding the other team's best player, giving you 25 a game. Right? Like Clay. I mean, Clay was 29 when the ACL tear happened. So just like put into context, like that Clay was like a physical Iron Man, you know? And this Wiggins, it's just lethargic, man. I don't know how else to put it. It's just lethargic is the best way to put it.
This is a game where he should look at the schedule and say, oh, you know what I mean? Like Draymond's got an ankle. Clay's got an adductor, right, from a couple games ago. Steph just played back-to-back. Right? Like, let me go out there and let me get – again, we know he's not that type of player.
Again, my guys need me right now. They're older. This is my night to get the 25, 30, something like that. Yeah.
Exactly. And again, we know that that's not his mentality, but we watched the NBA postseason 2022 when he was freaking awesome. And he was putting Jason Tatum in jail every single game. And that's where it comes from, right? Because if that postseason doesn't happen, Sam – really be mad. I'd just be like, whatever, who cares? That's Wiggins, right? Like that's whatever. But we've seen him at his best. We're not asking for his best. I would like to see Wiggins at 75%. What would you say Wiggins is right now? What would you say he is? Like he's playing at maybe 30. Like 30%?
32%. 27. It's not what I want to see. It's bad. I hate harping on it, but it's like get to in a minute, but it's like this might if he never comes around, this is a 54-win team who's a second round out. Where you're just they're kind of a regular season team, you know?
Yep. Yeah.
Which is kind of which I don't want to think of them that way because I know if you put Steph and By the way, we didn't even talk about Draymond's playing some really good basketball right now. He really is. But like you put the right team around those guys, they can compete with anyone in any moment because those dudes don't get scared by anything. They know how to play in all the tightest moments. So
yeah, we'll see. We'll wait. Like you said, we'll wait. Back to better news. You know, thanks to everyone these last 24 hours for congratulating Sam and I. Like we were the one that walked into Steph Curry's office and got this sponsorship for this season. But this Light Years podcast is brought to you by Under Armour and the Curry brand. Steph Curry makes you believe you could do anything, and the Curry 11s are specifically designed with ultimate bounce grip and stability to allow everyone to do their thing. New generations of ball players are do not apply. The future is exciting, fast, positive, and hungry. This NBA season, rock with your favorite player and rep his shoes on and off the court. Curry 11s are perfect for both the committed and the casual ballers. The UA Warp Tech makes the shoe feel like it was designed for your feet. Locked in no matter what you do on the court, so you can stop in your tracks with dual density UA flow cushioning and traction, an emergency brake, just like Steph, that you don't even notice. Steph's 11th signature shoe steps into the second decade of his sneaker career, pulling colorway inspiration from the wonders of a positive and modernized future. On off the court, take these kicks with you when you leave the court and rep UA wherever you go. So do your thing, change the game. The Curry 11, quote unquote future Curry, is available now at currybrand.com. Restrictions apply.
I like it. So we got a little news today on the Warriors. Warriors have not been carrying a 14th man, and according to ESPN, Golden State Warriors are finalizing a 3-year deal to sign Guy Santos. Santos was the 55th pick for the Warriors in 2022 draft, and for those sickos such as Andy Liu and myself, Summer League legend, Guy Santos. I feel like the Summer League takes are... Yeah, dude, you watch Summer League, like, who's that dude? I like him. He plays hard. He's flying in there for rebounds, can kind of shoot a little bit, a little bit of feel as a passer. Yeah. I'm not going to lie to you, a little surprised. I thought they were going to go with a vet for the 14th spot, but I'm not sure it really matters. I don't know. What are your
Can
thoughts
you?
on?
Oh no, hold on. Can you explain to me like the cap mechanics? Do you think they did this? Maybe it was cheaper because it's 3 years. Like,
Well,
is
it's
it that
one.
type of thing?
It's one. First off, the veteran minimum, or sorry, the minimum salary for a guy like Guy Santos, who's not a veteran, versus Rudy Gay, who's a 15-year veteran, is significantly lower. Okay. That is undisputable.
Okay.
So the tax burden on Guy Santos is, let's just say it probably costs Joey Lightyear's $5 to $6 million less to do this.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's one part of it. Yeah. Now, also, he was in their G League affiliate. In theory, anyone else could have signed him. So this is a way to just make sure you hold on to his rights. We haven't seen the terms of it. I think it's fair to assume it's non-guaranteed in the sense of they have ability to like pivot off of him if they want to.
Okay.
Either way, I think my question for you is, does it worry you that they didn't use the 14th roster spot on a veteran?
I'm watching this team right now, this season, and no. The answer is no. If anything, I think that they should carve out more minutes for Trey Jackson-Davis, which tells me that they probably believe that a veteran wouldn't have helped them anyway. If it was last season, I would say, dude, go get Rudy Gay. I don't know why Rudy Gay is not on the team. He should be playing 20 minutes a game, which, again, is not a good thing. But, like, he'd be playing real minutes. If Rudy Gay is on this team right now, is he even playing 2 minutes a game? Right? I think it's an easy argument that TJ Day would probably be the one that's getting 15, right? So I'm not too concerned. I don't think a role player would have helped him. Yeah, I think the problem is more like they need guys right now on their team to play better versus someone coming in outside and helping them, right? That's how I feel.
You and I are in agreement on this one then. I was hoping you'd say you wanted a veteran, but I'm looking at this team. I don't think they lack veteran leadership. I don't think they lack depth. I think depth is their strength. I'm a little concerned about the upside of the roster. Like, I don't know. We said earlier, do they have a second option? To be seen. What's going on with Wiggins? He needs to be one of your 3 to 4 best players. It's not happening. They weren't getting that in the 14th man of the roster. To your point, if this was last year's roster, they were desperate for some adults. This year's roster, I feel like they're pretty professional. They're pretty locked in. They seem to have really good chemistry right now. I just need to see if some of the guys who are in the front end of the rotation can play better.
Yep. What do you think about Guy Santos then? Let's talk about him for a few minutes because, like you said, is he an intriguing prospect or is he just kind of a depth guy?
I think he's intriguing because he's big, and usually these guys you get at the end of the second round or stuff, like he's legit like 6'8", might even be 6'9".
Okay.
Pretty athletic, can shoot the ball a little bit. Like usually with guys at that pick, you're getting a 6'5". You're getting like an Anthony Lamb, where they're 6'5", but they want to play power forward. He's got some like intriguing physical tools and some feel. Do I think he's ready to play for the Warriors? No, but like it's hard to find guys with the correct physical measurements who seem to have enough of the mental side to actually figure it out over time.
Yep. I'd be curious to see. He's not going to play this year. Who knows if he'll play next year? But sometimes I watch like a Lester Quinones, and I watch him against like better competition, and I'm just like, I don't know. It seems like more of a organizational.
It's like a 4A
filler.
In baseball, they call them 4A players, where you're better than a minor leaguer, but you're not quite a pro.
Giants got a lot of those. Yeah. So I know what they are. The Giants specialize. My team specializes at those guys. So, so like, who knows? He's a second rounder. Like, it's not, look, man, he's not a first round pick and whatever, but he plays really hard. He's big. He could shoot a little bit, crashed a lot, looked like he could play the Warriors type of system. So it means that he's pretty smart on offense. I didn't see much like playmaking from him, and like it didn't seem like he was going to be able to dribble or get his own shot that well. But I mean, who knows, right? We only watch the summer league games. We're not going to see this kid for a while in the big
14th man of the roster. I don't need him getting his own shot. I need him knowing how to play a role. I mean, it's intriguing. Also, it's like it gets back to what's our issue with the Warriors? Like, they're a little too small. They're a little unathletic. What is he? He's a little bigger. He's the same size as Kuminga, an athlete. Like guys who provide a little juice to the team. So,
yep.
All right. Should we see what the goons have to say?
Let's go.
If you want to call in. If you want to call in, hit the hand icon. We'll bring you up here.
All right. We got one more. And we are brought to you by AG1. So, hey, here's the thing. Here's the thing about AG1. Sam and I, before we go to sleep, every night, wake up in the morning and think to ourselves, dude, no energy, nothing, right? Not enough vitamins, not enough veggies, not enough supplements. So we've been hitting up AG1, and we've been drinking this every day. That's because AG1 is a foundational nutrition supplement that supports your body's universal needs like gut optimization, stress management, and immune support. Since 2010, AG1 has led the future of foundational nutrition, continuously refining their formula to create a smarter, better way to elevate your baseline health. AG1 is the supplement I trust to provide the support my body needs daily. If you want to take ownership of your health, it starts with AG1. Try AG1, get a free 1-year supply of vitamin D3, K2, and 5 free AG1 travel packs with your first purchase. Go to drinkag1.com/lightyears. That's drinkag1.com/lightyears. Check it out.
Check it out. Promo code lightyears. Let's get our guy Neil up here.
What's up, guys? What you doing?
Good. How's life in New York? How's it watching the Warriors? I know you got a convenient time this game, but most of the year you're about to get 10 p.m. games.
Actually, I would say the 10 p.m. games are better because in business and for the part-time business school program, you have classes at night. So today I think I'm gonna lose some participation points because I did not contribute at all. I was just watching. Numbers? I don't even remember his name. The dude on the Pistons, number 17. He was just hitting every shot, and I was just extremely frustrated. Yeah, that guy. Yeah, exactly. So,
you're watching Warriors games in business school class. That is money well spent, sir. That is a hardcore goon fan right there, brother.
Yeah. Wow. It's one of those classes where you kind of just this one I was like, okay, I'm just gonna sit in the back. I'm gonna put the game on and maybe contribute once during halftime. So
good.
How you feeling about the team? Vibe check.
Well, yeah, I know. Listen, today's one was gross. It was not a fun game. Like they should not be going down to the wire with the Detroit Pistons. Like they have talent, but still. But listen, overall, just going off last year, I am just, the vibes are so much better. Like, listen, I'll take any wins I can get at this point. Like going off the 3-7 start last year, so I'm cool with it. Like, I think they probably need to make. I feel like they need to make some sort of move throughout the season, even if it's just a buyout player, just see maybe some more size or even a little more scoring off the bench. If that's the case, and I think my only concern really is Wiggins at this point. I'm not that concerned with I think the bench is looking good. I think Kuminga's getting better. I think Moody's getting better. I think Chris Paul has been great. I mean, besides his shooting, but I think that's going to come around. So I really think my only concern at this point is Wiggins. I think if he turns it around, I think this team can contend pretty easily. So.
Everyone's favorite whipping boy. I mean, that's the guy.
What else can you say? I mean, 2 for 9. I mean, he was missing free throws. He was hurting the ball.
The free throws are killing me. There's no way as a 40% 3-point shooter in your career that the free throws are looking like. Yeah. He shoots it like a center.
It's a mental thing. I mean, free throws.
It has to be
largely mental.
Yeah.
So.
Neil, appreciate you, brother.
Much love.
Yep. To Matthew.
Hey guys.
What's up, Matthew?
Sir.
Look at you guys, man. Just a couple of local non-credentialed fan podcasters pontificating your way into the best basketball players brand sponsorship, man.
That's what we do, baby. Let's look at Look at us.
Oh man. But Sam, you mentioned they don't have a second option, and that kind of made me think offensively, I don't feel like they had a second option really on their last title year, because Wiggins was their second best player, but they didn't really have a good second option. Now I'll agree with you though, their offense needs to be figured out, but they just need other players to step up. I don't feel like as long as they have 30 cooking, I don't think they need a legit second option, but they do need players to step up. Like Wiggs needs to not be complete ass. Speaking of Wiggs, I feel like in 2 games, could we like maybe consider starting someone else over him? Like maybe a little Kuminga, honestly, maybe a little Moody, who is just consistently super good. I mean, get Moody more minutes, and not just because he's on my fantasy team, but like he's legit. So
I think the starting lineup change might have to be a thing, because it's not just. I mean, it could just be Wiggins, but they are starting games disgustingly. At some point, you've got to maybe pulling him. You think to yourself, it's going to really fuck with his mentals if you pull him.
That's why they're not. I mean, listen to the way Steve talks. Like it's very, and we've known it for years. It's Wiggins isn't the guy to give tough. Like he's not Draymond. Draymond responds to being told like you fucking suck. He's like, oh, I'll prove it. I'll show you wrong. Like Draymond like feeds off of that kind of energy. Wiggins doesn't feed off of that kind of energy.
Well, I mean, if you do it in a way that it's not necessarily you're saying, hey, you suck. It's like, hey, you don't have it right now. We're just going to put someone in over you. Like, I don't know, the soft, tough love thing. I don't know, but something's got to happen, because it's like, it's 8 games, but it's like, yeah, it's concerning. Later, guys.
Appreciate it. Appreciate you.
Cannot disagree.
I will say, my guy Steve is not concerned about Wiggins. What he wants to talk about is my guy.
Knocking shots.
Nice to see Chris hit some jumpers.
Yeah, I mean, Chris has made such a huge impact even without making shots. So now, last couple games, knocking shots down, just adds to what he's already doing. But 6 assists, no turnovers. He's up to 62 assists, 6 turnovers.
Yeah.
I mean, that's insane. That is insane. So what he's doing is we're kind of trying to find our team and our rhythm. He's just keeping us in games, leading that second unit, taking care of the ball. Only 11 turnovers tonight. So Chris has just been amazing for us.
Point guard saving the day, per usual. My guy.
We didn't even talk about Chris Paul tonight. I mean, he iced the game with the mid-range shot. So it's he was incredible. He's, to me, the second guy that showed up tonight. It was him and Steph, which is hilarious because they're both 40.
Two oldest.
So,
two oldest. Yeah.
Freaking insane.
Tanish, what's up?
First,
how's it going?
Hey, good. How are you guys?
Good, man.
Good.
Honestly, Sam, like your Chris Paul crusading paid off. I mean, he turned the light years therapy session from last year to just fun vibes here. But I have a take for you guys. I think that the Warriors starters don't feel like the starters of the past. They're not playing with the same the movement, the passing, just the speed that they play with. It's just not there. And I don't know if it's because of Wiggins and he used to space the floor a lot, and he's shooting 25% from 3 right now. Whether
much
it's
lower
that
than that.
or it's just that they're old. But yeah, thanks a lot.
So are you saying the starters, or are you saying overall that they feel like they're playing slow?
I think the starters, because overall, the whole point with CP3 was he would slow down the bench.
Gotcha.
Right? It'd be
Okay.
different speed. The starters got to play fast. Because that's how they were good last season still, right?
True. No, it's a good point, Tanish. Really appreciate you. I really do think in this case, we're gonna keep talking about, but it's come back to Wiggins. If your starting lineup is just 2 offensive threats, it's kind of going to be an ugly, everyone setting screens to get Steph or Clay open, right? It's kind of
literally all they're doing.
Well, yeah, they don't have any other way to do it. So it's I don't know. He needs to. They need their wings to play better to open up a lot of roster versatility, because playing small means wings playing up. But like they're just all like. Are we settled on a theme here? I don't know.
And the thing is, like, it's not like Kuminga's super deserving of that starting spot, right? And somebody brought up Moses Moody, so maybe Moses Moody. Is it Chris Paul? But then not defensively, you're really cooked to start out games. But
I mean, they've been going with a lot of GP2 because he's been playing the best of them. But like, he's 6'1", man.
Yeah, but it's not, I might roll with that. Honestly, I might do that. I think that's a.
I mean, they have been, Steve. They've been going with like they closed with Steph, Chris Paul, and GP2 against OKC, and it was the right move. It was just kind of like screw it. We're just gonna go with the guys who are playing well, So it's still wild, like if you think about it. All right, Adam, what's up, man? Get you up here.
Yo, what's up? What's going on, guys? You keep the profile pic?
I like it.
You saw that when, up by 13, watch that lead get blown, watching Asar Thompson out hustle, out rebound Wiggins, Kuminga.
Mm-hmm.
Aye. Well, question for you guys. How many times do we have to see guys like Nemhard look like prime Kobe, this guy Amude looking like prime T-Mac? Worst of all, Killian Hayes looking like prime Agent Zero out there, just dropping threes and everything. When it gets to a point where it's our defense that needs to be addressed, where we just get these random guys just killing us out there. And I mean, yeah, like Andy said, these guys didn't have Monte Morris, they didn't have Duren, they didn't have Bogdanovich, they didn't have Joe Harris. So, I wish I could have your same optimism, Sam. But man, this was a brutal win tonight. So that's my first question. And then just a second point I'd like to make is, could you imagine if this team traded down in the draft and got Beef Stew instead of Wiseman? You see how much dog that guy has, right?
There's at least 42 players in the draft that would be like, imagine if they traded. The funny thing about the 2020 draft, and I don't mean to like beat this over, not a bad draft. Maybe not a superstar heavy draft, but like, I mean, Jaden McDaniels, I'd take him.
Got 20 points tonight against the Celtics.
Onyeka Okongwu, he's turning into a nice
Desmond Bain,
turning into a nice player. Yep. You know what? I'm gonna screen share the draft. We're gonna go through this and get mad together.
Oh boy, oh brother.
Anthony,
look what you did, Adam. There we go.
Josh Green, even. Yep.
Blow this up. Now I want to get in this and blow this up. Let's go.
Are you gonna get a little bigger? Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah. Then we got Devin Avdia. You think Devin Avdia would get some minutes on this team? Hell yeah, he would.
Absolutely.
Yeah, might be upset with him at number 2, but you know what?
Not really. Not if it's Wiseman. That's the other option.
I don't know, man. You take Denny over Tyrese Halliburton, I'll be complaining.
Well, I mean,
okay, Devin Vassell, good wing.
Of course.
Halliburton, superstar.
Of course.
Isaiah Stewart, player. Cole Anthony going to be a. Yeah, I mean, I would be upset if they
keep it. Yeah, let's keep it moving with that one.
But Maxey at 21 Green is brutal.
Yeah, Tyrese Maxey is going to be an all-star. Sadiq Bey is a good player. Josh Green is a rotation player. Emmanuel Quickly, underrated. Actually, I think he's the good player. Desmond Bain, damn good player.
Yeah. Jaden McDaniels is in there. Yeah.
Xavier Tillman. I mean,
yes, Xavier Tillman. Trey Jones, backup point guard. That's pretty good.
Isaiah Joe, dude. Isaiah Joe could shoot it a little bit.
He did against
KJ Martin is a nice little wing.
Just to get Jessup and caught the Warriors. What were they doing? Paul Reed. I guess maybe he's.
This entire draft was just a heat check.
Yeah. All 15 guys.
Wiseman, Nico Mannion, Justinian Jessup. No disrespect, but
fucking.
But kind
of. So shout out to Beef
Stew.
Stew. I know that guy. Was always getting Wiseman was always getting the highlight over him ever since their high school days, and Beef Stew was always dogging that guy ever since high school, and now he gets to start over him. So shout out to him. Anyways, take it easy, fellas.
Appreciate it, brother.
Appreciate it, man. Calling whenever. I love the chat. Beard in the chat's going, Dunleavy would have drafted Halliburton. This is my favorite time when someone new gets hired And, they get off to a good start, and it's just positive. It's like any move, you're like, oh, obviously Dunleavy would have made the correct move. Like,
Who do you think Dunleavy would have drafted? Who do you think Dunleavy would have drafted?
I mean, obviously, I'm going to say Halliburton. He seems like a big feel guy, basketball-wise. So, but like, I don't know. We haven't seen him. Like, you kind of have to watch a guy go through multiple free agency and draft cycles to get a real feel. Even Bob, who more often than not made good moves, like, he's a little prone to getting excited over athleticism. Anyway.
Chat's got LaMelo Ball in there. Chat's throwing in Dunleavy would have picked Franz Wagner over their Kuminga. I don't know if I disagree. I think the Wagner one actually makes the most sense. I don't think Mike Dunleavy picks Kuminga.
I don't know about that, but maybe. It's
watching Pajemski and Chase Jackson Davis played, I'm like, I don't know. Those guys know how to play basketball.
He's definitely not taking Wiseman. Kuminga, I don't think Kuminga's.
He's not there, Sam. Don't try to talk yourself into it.
He's half and half. I'm just put it that way. He's got some level of feel. Jacob, what's up, man?
Good evening. How are we?
You sound tired.
I'm good. I'm not gonna look, man. They're 6-2. Just because they don't look like how I want them to look in the playoffs doesn't mean I'm gonna be mad.
Yeah, it's actually funny you say that because that's kind of what I just wanted to come on and say. And thanks, Andy. I'm not like not tired, but it was a late night last night getting back from Cleveland, and it is 11 o'clock here. But we put in the work for the Warriors. No, I agree. I think we've seen just several games now that I totally agree. Last season, we simply don't emerge with a W. I mean, we remember the Pistons game last year, the Sadiq Bey hope and a prayer. Like, it helps this early in the season and such a long season to stack wins like this. When you look at the standings right now, like the Nuggets are a wagon. Sam, as you predicted, they took the lead over the Pels. Like you see some of the other teams that are supposedly better teams than the Warriors, the Suns of the world, the Scary Hours Clippers, dropping games left and right. So I think like when inevitably the stars of this team miss some games, like these wins are huge right now. And as the last thing I'll say, because as I always do, I rant. Every time I hear how old Steph is, it makes me want to cry because I watch that man play basketball and it makes me so freaking happy. He's just amazing. So I'm not, I think he's got years left in him, even at this level. But the dude is 50-40-90ing through 8 games at age 35, going on 36. Like, we are witnessing greatness, and I have to remind myself of that when I get frustrated, when Steve pulls him in the first quarter and things aren't going well. But all things considered, 6-2, we'll take it. We're still winning the chip. Thanks, guys. Good night.
Nope.
Appreciate you, man. Have a great evening.
Yes, sir. Thanks, brother.
Calling the closer. McWalters, take us home.
Yo, what's up? Sorry, had to change the profile pic.
I like it.
Yeah,
it's a young McWalters.
Young McWalters sitting courtside at the last Sonics home game. Got to do it. But anyways, you know what? I thought it was good tonight. I mean, obviously we didn't like how they played. We don't like blowing leads. But no one other than Steph crossed 30 minutes. I mean, we basically had a rest game for everyone but our beloved Steph Curry, who seems like he's a robot. He can just run around and do anything. And I think there's just like a lot of good things to take away from here. Confirmation that, Wiseman is a bump for opponents, clearly a bump for us as well. So that was nice to be on the receiving end instead of the giving end of that one. And I think we should be really positive on a road trip like this. I think it said in the comments we didn't get our 5th road win until January last year. January. November.
Yeah, looking back, I truly don't know how Sam and I did I know Sam did all 82. I don't know how I did like 75 of these motherfuckers, man. I honestly have no idea how last season happened. Blacked out.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I don't know how any of us got through the season, and it just shows that like if we have some darn adults on the team, that like Jesus, basketball's a lot easier when you don't have to like
and that's
five players.
And that's all I'm saying. This is not the 2015 gonna run over you Warriors. This is a older team, and keep stacking wins and see if they can figure it out over time. Like what matters is that they're 10-4, or they're the 3 seed or something, and they have time to figure it out versus falling behind the 8 ball and feeling like it's just never going to happen. It's a different feel because I'm just so used to this team. If they're good, they destroy.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
this feels
such like a Spurs team. This feels like a Spurs team, right?
It does.
We're all of a sudden we're going to look at the end of the season like we got 55 wins. Holy moly, we almost got 60 wins. Like, and we're just going to be besides ourselves. Like, how did we do this? And it was like, oh, because we actually hired adults to fill out the bench and didn't have 5 projects. Instead, we only have a couple.
Yeah, I think we end it there. I think we'll see where it goes, but we'll take the win. Going to go to Denver, and then they come home for 2 freaking months, which is nice. A lot of home time. We'll end it there. Appreciate everyone.